Most believers quote, "Where two or three are gathered in my name," as if Jesus were giving us a minimum attendance requirement for prayer. They use it to say, if only two or three people agree, God will show up. And while the intention is sincere, the interpretation is completely disconnected from kingdom law. This passage has nothing to do with small group prayer. It has everything to do with legal jurisdiction. Let's put on the legal lenses. Section 1. The misuse. Here is how the verse is commonly used. Gather two or three people. Say a prayer. Hope that God arrives in the room. Use agreement as the activation key. But this meaning does not come from Jesus. It comes from religious tradition. Jesus was not describing a prayer meeting. He was describing a legal proceeding. Section 2. The legal context. Matthew 18 is a judicial chapter. Jesus is explaining how to handle disputes, offenses, and violations within the kingdom community. Before he ever mentions two or three, he talks about witnesses, charges, rulings, binding and loosing, and the authority structure of kingdom courts. In Jewish law, two or three witnesses was the legal requirement to establish a matter, not spiritual agreement, legal validation. Section 3. What Jesus actually meant when Jesus said, "Where two or three are gathered in my name," he wasn't describing prayer. He was describing jurisdiction. He was saying, when a matter is brought before witnesses in alignment with my authority, I am present as judge and ruler to ratify the decision. This is why he said, "Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven." That is courtroom language, not group prayer language. Heaven backs legal alignment, not head count. Section 4. Religion versus kingdom law. Religion says we need two or three people or God won't move. Kingdom law says when citizens follow legal order, the king ratifies the ruling. This passage is about resolving conflict legally, rendering judgment righteously, executing the king's will, and using proper witnesses to carry out kingdom justice. It is about governance, not group prayer. Section 5. The correct kingdom application. So how do we use this verse correctly? Here's the legal meaning. When citizens gather under the jurisdiction of the king, following the law of witnesses, acting in alignment with his name, the king himself stands in the midst as the supreme judge, confirming the outcome. This verse is not about God showing up when enough people agree. It is about heaven ratifying lawful decisions made by kingdom representatives. When interpreted legally, the promise becomes stronger, not weaker. You are not hoping for his presence. You are executing his authority. Closing verdict. Where two or three are gathered is not a small group prayer promise. It is a legal statute about jurisdiction, witnesses, and kingdom governance. When you understand the legal meaning, you stop trying to gather bodies, and you start gathering witnesses. You stop trying to get God to show up and realize he is already present as the supreme ruler whenever kingdom law is being carried out. This is Legal Lenses, where we decode misused scriptures and restore the kingdom's original intent.